Over 60, top 4 best food you should eat to flush out toxins and repair kidney fast. Senior food coach. If you've been paying attention, you might have started to notice something a bit unsettling. It's not always the obvious culprits, the fried, salty, or fast foods, that are silently impacting your kidneys. Sometimes the very choices you make, those that appear healthy on the surface, can actually contribute to making your kidneys work harder, especially as you reach and move beyond the age of 60. Perhaps you're finding yourself waking up more frequently at night to use the restroom, or maybe your ankles tend to swell by the end of the day. You might also experience a persistent feeling of fatigue, even after a full night's sleep, or notice that your urine appears unusually foamy. For some, controlling blood pressure becomes a more significant challenge, or perhaps your doctor has mentioned that your kidney function indicators are not as robust as they could be. If any of these symptoms resonate with you, it's crucial to listen closely. Today, our focus isn't on what foods to avoid, but rather on a more empowering approach, discovering 4 common foods that can actively help your body alleviate some of the burden on your kidneys. These selections are designed to support your body's natural detoxification processes, help calm inflammation, promote smoother digestion, and ultimately allow your kidneys to function more comfortably after each meal. While these are not magical elixirs, by making intentional and informed food choices in the right amounts and prepared in the right ways, your daily meals can transform from a potential strain into a supportive force for your kidney health. It's essential to pay close attention because these 4 foods are readily available, familiar, and budget-friendly. However, many people often misuse or misunderstand them. We'll begin our journey with the 4th item on our list and progress sequentially to the 1st, which is recognized as the most beneficial for detoxification, waste removal, and enhancing kidney care for individuals over 60. Our 4th essential food is yogurt. This is something that many households already have readily available in their refrigerators. You might enjoy it for breakfast, perhaps paired with fruit, or as a light snack when you desire something less substantial than a full meal. However, a point that many individuals over 60 may not fully grasp is that yogurt offers benefits beyond just gut health. When you select the right kind of yogurt, it can also serve as a strategic choice for supporting your kidneys. Consider your body akin to an older, well-loved house that continues to function day in and day out. Your digestive system can be likened to the kitchen trash can. If it becomes too full, begins to emit unpleasant odors, or isn't emptied regularly, the entire house feels the impact. Your body operates on a similar principle. When your digestion isn't functioning optimally, waste products may linger in your circulation for longer periods. Consequently, if your blood carries a higher concentration of waste for your body to process, your kidneys might have to expend more energy to filter it. This is precisely why yogurt warrants our attention. Yogurt, particularly varieties that contain live and active cultures, is a rich source of probiotics. These are beneficial bacteria that actively contribute to a healthier gut environment. When your gut functions more efficiently, your body is better equipped to process food, digestion can feel more effortless, and your body's natural filtration systems can operate with a reduced load. There's an old adage that aptly fits this situation. When the belly is calm, the whole body feels calmer. This sentiment holds particularly true after the age of 60. As we age, our digestive processes may not be as swift as they once were. Some individuals may consume a single heavy meal and experience bloating for the remainder of the day, while others might grapple with persistent constipation. Some might feel lethargic, foggy, or drained after eating. While these symptoms might initially appear to be solely digestive issues, it's vital to remember that everything within the body is interconnected. The gut, the liver, the kidneys, the heart, and the blood vessels all work in concert, none functioning in isolation. Beyond its probiotic benefits, yogurt also provides essential nutrients such as protein, calcium, and vitamin B12. Protein is crucial for maintaining muscle mass, which is of paramount importance as we grow older. Vitamin B12 plays a vital role in energy production and the formation of healthy red blood cells, while calcium is essential for supporting bone health. For those over 60, both bone density and kidney function deserve increased attention. However, and this is a critical point that deserves emphasis, not all yogurts are created equal. You might be tempted by a strawberry, peach, or vanilla yogurt from the grocery store, and the front of the packaging might present it as a healthy option, perhaps highlighting low fat or fruit flavor as a healthy snack. Yet, upon turning the container around and examining the ingredient list, you might discover a significant amount of added sugar. Some yogurts are, in reality, more akin to desserts than health foods. For individuals managing diabetes, prediabetes, high blood pressure, or compromised kidney function, this added sugar is not a minor concern. Elevated blood sugar levels over extended periods can inflict damage upon the delicate blood vessels within the kidneys. As these minuscule vessels are compromised, the kidney's filtering capacity can gradually diminish. Therefore, when aiming to support kidney health through yogurt consumption, the goal is not to opt for the sweetest variety, the most flavorful, the one with the most toppings, or the most visually appealing label. A far superior choice is plain, unsweetened yogurt or plain Greek yogurt, provided it aligns with your dietary needs and overall health profile. You can then enhance its flavor naturally by adding a few slices of apple, a sprinkle of cinnamon, or a small portion of berries. To illustrate, if your yogurt tastes as sweet as ice cream, it's likely no longer a light food for your kidneys. It's akin to wearing athletic attire while indulging in cake on the couch. It may look healthy from the exterior, but it's not contributing to your internal well-being. Greek yogurt offers an additional advantage. It generally contains a higher protein content compared to regular yogurt. This can be particularly beneficial for many older adults, as muscle loss becomes a more prevalent concern after the age of 60. Nevertheless, if you are currently managing chronic kidney disease or have been advised to limit your protein, potassium, or phosphorus intake, it is imperative that you do not begin consuming large quantities of yogurt without professional guidance. Consulting with your doctor or a registered renal dietitian is a crucial first step. This consideration is paramount. A food that proves beneficial for one individual may need to be restricted for another. Therefore, when incorporating yogurt into your diet, keep 3 key principles in mind. Firstly, prioritize plain, unsweetened, or low-sugar varieties. Secondly, be mindful of portion sizes. A large bowl is rarely necessary. Often, half a cup suffices for a light snack. Thirdly, if you are adhering to a specific kidney-friendly diet, it is essential to review the potassium, phosphorus, and protein content of the yogurt you select. Yogurt is not a panacea, but when chosen judiciously, it can be a gentle, easily digestible, and gut-supportive food that contributes to maintaining a more balanced internal environment. This is why yogurt secures its position at number 4. Moving on to our third food, which is even simpler, requiring no elaborate cooking or fancy recipes. It's a fruit you can easily hold in your hand, carry in your bag, and enjoy at any time of day: an apple. Apples are an ordinary fruit, not an expensive superfood, nor are they marketed with the same fanfare as specialized detox juices. They might lack the vibrant, dramatic color of something like beets, but often the most beneficial foods for older adults are not the most exotic. They are the simple, everyday options that can be consistently incorporated into one's diet. Many older Americans grew up with the familiar saying, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away." While this doesn't imply that apples can prevent every ailment, it certainly speaks to their long-standing reputation as a simple, accessible fruit for daily consumption. In the realm of kidney care, apples possess several noteworthy attributes. Firstly, they are relatively low in potassium, phosphorus, and sodium when compared to many other food items. This is a significant advantage because, as kidney function declines, the body's ability to process minerals can become less efficient. An excess buildup of potassium, phosphorus, and sodium can lead to a feeling of heaviness in the body. complicate blood pressure management, and place an additional strain on the kidneys. You can visualize your kidneys as a neighborhood gatekeeper. When the gatekeeper is young and robust, they efficiently manage traffic, allowing people and vehicles to move smoothly. However, as the gatekeeper ages and the volume of traffic increases, they can become overwhelmed. Apples represent a food that doesn't create excessive congestion at this metaphorical gate. Furthermore, apples are a good source of fiber, particularly a type known as pectin. Fiber acts as a gentle broom within your digestive system. It doesn't create a dramatic show, unlike many of the detox drinks advertised online, but it quietly facilitates the movement of food through your system, supports healthy digestion, and may contribute to maintaining healthier cholesterol levels. Importantly, it helps to slow down the rate at which blood sugar rises, especially when compared to many sweet snacks. For individuals over 60, this is incredibly valuable, as kidney health is influenced not only by salt intake, but also by blood sugar levels, blood pressure, chronic inflammation, body weight, and the health of blood vessels. Therefore, choosing a snack that promotes steadier blood sugar, aids digestion, and doesn't contribute excessive sodium or potassium is a way of providing your kidneys with a lighter workload. Apples also contain antioxidants, which are compounds that help protect your cells from oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is a process that over time can contribute to the body's gradual rusting or aging. Imagine an old car left exposed to the elements for years. Without maintenance, its metal begins to corrode, its paint fades, and its engine deteriorates. The human body undergoes a similar process. Aging, inflammation, high blood sugar, high blood pressure, and the consumption of processed foods can all accelerate this wear and tear. While apples won't reverse these effects overnight, they offer a clean, simple, and easily repeatable dietary choice. However, as with any food, the method of consumption is important. Eating a whole apple is fundamentally different from drinking a large glass of apple juice. When you consume a whole apple, you benefit from its fiber content. This fiber acts as a buffer, slowing down the absorption of the fruit's natural sugars into your bloodstream. In contrast, when you drink apple juice, much of the fiber has been removed, allowing the sugars to enter your body more rapidly. This distinction is significant for individuals managing diabetes, prediabetes, or kidney-related concerns. To put it simply, consuming a whole apple is like walking uphill at a steady pace, whereas drinking apple juice is akin to running downhill too fast. Both originate from apples, but your body processes them very differently. Thus, if your intention is to leverage apples for kidney-friendly eating, opt for the whole fruit. Depending on your individual needs, you might consume half an apple or one small apple. You can complement this with a little plain yogurt or a dash of cinnamon for added flavor without introducing extra sugar. One additional consideration, many older adults peel apples either because the skin seems difficult to digest or due to concerns about pesticide residues. If your digestive system can tolerate the skin and you wash the apple thoroughly, the peel is a valuable source of fiber and antioxidants. However, if you have a sensitive stomach, weak teeth, or if your doctor has advised against consuming the peel for a specific reason, it is perfectly acceptable to peel it. The most critical factor is ensuring that the way you eat it is suitable for your body. Consider a 67-year-old woman who, in the afternoon, consistently experiences cravings for something sweet. Previously, her go-to options were cookies, cake, or bottled fruit juice. Over time, these choices led to an increase in her blood sugar and weight, and her doctor began to comment on her kidney health. Her dietary adjustment was simple. She replaced her usual afternoon snack with a few slices of apple, a small serving of plain yogurt, and a touch of cinnamon. Nothing complicated or dramatic. Yet this revised snack contained significantly less added sugar, more fiber, kept her feeling fuller for longer, and was far gentler on her body. This exemplifies what practical kidney care truly looks like. It doesn't always necessitate drastic, life-altering changes. Often, it involves the simple act of substituting a sugary snack with a fresh apple. Apples earn their place at number 3 due to their simplicity, widespread availability, ease of consumption, and their gentler impact compared to many other sweet snack alternatives. They empower you to build better habits incrementally, one day at a time. Now, let's explore our second food, which might surprise some individuals as many associate it solely with vegetarian diets. Some older adults might even express, "I'm not a vegetarian, why would I eat that?" However, when it comes to supporting kidney health, this particular food can be a remarkably astute choice. Our number 2 pick is tofu. Yes, tofu. I understand that for some, merely hearing the word tofu might elicit a negative reaction. Some perceive it as bland, others find its texture too soft, and many dismiss it as irrelevant if they don't adhere to a vegetarian lifestyle. Yet, if you are over 60 and seeking ways to alleviate the workload on your kidneys, tofu warrants a second consideration. Tofu is a plant-based protein source, and this characteristic is highly significant. Your body requires protein for numerous functions. Older adults, in particular, need an adequate protein intake to help maintain muscle mass, repair tissues, preserve strength, and counteract the gradual decline in physical resilience that can occur year after year. However, not all protein sources are created equal. A substantial portion of red meat, processed meats like sausage and bacon, or cured hams can come laden with saturated fat, salt, preservatives, and impose an additional metabolic load on the body. Tofu presents a different profile. It offers plant-based protein, is generally easier to digest, can be low in sodium if you choose the plain, unseasoned varieties, and can be incorporated into a diverse array of meals. To illustrate this point, imagine your kidneys as an older model washing machine. If every meal you consume is excessively salty and composed of processed meats, it's akin to stuffing that washing machine with a large, muddy blanket. The machine might still operate, but it will be forced to work much harder. Conversely, a meal featuring tofu, kidney-friendly vegetables, and lighter seasonings is more analogous to washing a standard load of laundry, still effective and satisfying, but considerably easier on the appliance. Tofu won't magically rejuvenate your kidneys overnight, but it can contribute to making your meals a lighter alternative to many heavier protein options. A primary reason tofu is frequently recommended in kidney-friendly dietary discussions is its potential to substitute some animal protein intake. Many individuals over 60 don't necessarily need to eliminate meat entirely. However, if your daily diet consistently includes red meat, sausage, bacon, ham, and canned meats, your kidneys and blood vessels may experience cumulative strain over time. Incorporating tofu into a few meals can be a gentle, incremental step toward a more balanced diet. For instance, instead of a hefty breakfast of bacon, you could explore lightly pan-seared tofu seasoned with onions, garlic, black pepper, and red bell peppers. When preparing a stir-fry, instead of loading it with excessive amounts of meat, consider using tofu as a component alongside suitable vegetables while reducing the overall salt content. For a lighter evening meal, a warm tofu soup offering a soft, simple, and easily digestible option can be a delightful choice. There's a practical adage often used by older individuals: eat in a way that doesn't make your stomach fight you all night. While it might sound humorous, it holds a great deal of truth. A heavy dinner can leave you feeling bloated, thirsty, restless, and may even disrupt your sleep with nighttime trips to the bathroom. A lighter, more balanced meal, on the other hand, can promote a greater sense of comfort within your body. Tofu also contains certain minerals and plant compounds that may contribute to overall health. It can support cardiovascular health when it replaces protein sources that are high in saturated fat. Given the intricate connection between the heart and kidneys, optimal heart function, characterized by efficient blood pumping and healthy blood vessels, leads to better blood pressure control, thereby reducing the pressure on the kidneys. However, similar to yogurt, tofu is not a food to be consumed indiscriminately without thoughtful consideration. If you have been diagnosed with chronic kidney disease, your doctor may advise you to monitor your protein, potassium, or phosphorus intake. Some tofu products are manufactured using calcium salts, and the nutritional profiles can vary significantly between brands. Therefore, reading the food labels is essential. If you are following a strict kidney diet, seeking guidance from a healthcare professional is paramount. The key takeaway regarding tofu is not to consume it in excessive quantities, but rather to utilize it as a smart dietary replacement when it aligns with your body's needs. The method of preparation also plays a significant role. If you deep fry tofu, smother it in salty sauces, and douse it in excessive soy sauce, it ceases to be a kidney-friendly choice. Tofu is optimally prepared when it is lightly pan-seared, steamed, added to soups, or stir-fried with a minimal amount of oil. Flavor can be naturally derived from ingredients such as garlic, onion, peppers, ginger, lemon, or herbs. Some individuals describe tofu as bland, and by itself, it can be. However, this characteristic can also be an advantage. Tofu acts like a small sponge, readily absorbing the flavors of the ingredients it is cooked with. When prepared with garlic, onion, red bell pepper, a touch of olive oil, and black pepper, it can develop a surprisingly palatable taste. Picture a 70-year-old gentleman who has consumed steak, bacon, and hamburgers throughout his life. His doctor has informed him that his blood pressure is elevated and his kidneys require careful monitoring. Upon hearing the word tofu, he initially dismisses it with a laugh, stating, "That's not for me." However, his daughter prepares tofu by pan-searing it with garlic, red bell pepper, a hint of black pepper, and serves it with a small portion of rice. After tasting it, he concedes, "Well, that's not half bad." Sometimes, dietary change begins not with forced consumption of disliked foods, but with learning how to prepare a simple ingredient in a way that is actually enjoyable. Tofu earns its place at number 2 because it offers a tender, versatile plant-based protein option that can be easily integrated into lighter meals, potentially reducing your reliance on heavier, saltier, and more processed protein choices. We have now arrived at our number 1 food, which may come as a surprise to some, given its sheer ordinariness. It's not fancy, it's not expensive, and you don't need to order it online. However, when consumed appropriately, it can be one of the most potent foods for supporting blood sugar levels, cholesterol profiles, digestion, and for reducing the workload on your kidneys. I am referring to beans. Number 1 on our list is beans, encompassing varieties such as black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, navy beans, and lentils, as well as chickpeas. These are fundamentally simple foods, remarkably affordable, readily available, and have been a staple in American kitchens for a considerable period. Many people tend to view beans as merely a side dish, a small addition to soup, a spoonful in chili, or a modest serving on a plate. However, the reality is that beans are among the most valuable foods you can utilize if your objective is to cultivate a healthier diet that supports your kidneys and overall metabolic well-being, particularly after the age of 60. The foremost reason for their significance lies in their exceptional fiber content. Beans are exceptionally rich in fiber, a nutrient that many older adults unfortunately do not consume in sufficient quantities. When meals predominantly consist of white bread, processed meats, sugary treats, and fast food, while lacking in suitable vegetables and fiber, blood sugar levels can spike more rapidly, cholesterol can worsen, digestion can slow down, and constipation can become more prevalent. These issues extend beyond mere digestive discomfort, impacting blood vessels, the heart, and ultimately the kidneys. The fiber present in beans functions like a quiet, diligent cleaning crew. It traverses the digestive system, aiding in the smooth passage of food. It promotes more stable blood sugar levels, contributes to a prolonged feeling of fullness, and can support healthier cholesterol levels. When blood sugar and cholesterol are better managed, the delicate blood vessels within the kidneys can be more effectively protected over time. It is crucial to remember that your kidneys are not simply filters. They are filters composed of countless tiny blood vessels. If persistently high blood sugar damages these vessels, if high blood pressure subjects them to constant pressure, and if chronic inflammation persists for years, the filtering capacity of the kidneys will inevitably weaken. Beans offer a multifaceted benefit to the body. They provide fiber, plant-based protein, essential minerals, antioxidants, and promote a sustained sense of satiety. A half-cup serving of cooked beans can deliver a substantial amount of plant-based protein, which is vital for muscle maintenance and overall health. Furthermore, because beans are rich in fiber, they tend to keep you feeling full for longer periods compared to many refined carbohydrate sources. In simpler terms, a small bowl of beans can provide a more lasting sense of satisfaction than a handful of snack chips. Many older adults lament, "I eat a meal, and 2 hours later, I'm hungry again." A significant contributing factor to this phenomenon is a diet that is low in fiber and high in rapidly digestible carbohydrates. By incorporating an appropriate amount of beans into your meals, you can experience a more prolonged feeling of fullness, enjoy steadier blood sugar levels, and experience fewer cravings for sweets. However, and this is a critical point that must be clearly articulated, if you have been diagnosed with kidney disease, the consumption of beans requires careful consideration and preparation. Beans can contain significant amounts of potassium and phosphorus. For individuals with healthy kidneys or those focusing on preventive measures, beans can be an excellent dietary choice when consumed in moderation. However, for individuals with advanced chronic kidney disease or those whose doctors have advised them to restrict their intake of potassium or phosphorus, consuming large quantities of beans daily may not be advisable or safe. The key lies in both portion control and preparation methods. If you opt for canned beans, select low sodium or no salt added varieties. Always drain the liquid from the can and rinse the beans thoroughly under running water. This process can help reduce the sodium content, which is particularly important for individuals managing high blood pressure or kidney concerns. When cooking dried beans, it is recommended to soak them first, discard the soaking water, and then cook them in fresh water. This method can enhance digestibility and potentially reduce the compounds that cause gas. Many individuals shy away from beans due to concerns about bloating, and this is an understandable apprehension. However, there is no need to start by consuming a large bowl. Begin with a small amount, a few spoonfuls in soup, a modest serving in a salad, or a small portion of lentils in a stew. Allow your digestive system to gradually adapt. There is a practical, old adage that perfectly applies here. Don't bite off more than you can chew. This sentiment is equally relevant to introducing beans into your diet. Avoid making drastic changes overnight. Allow your body time to adjust. Consider a simple example. Instead of a dinner composed solely of red meat, potatoes, and bread, you could reduce the portion of meat and introduce a small serving of beans. You could also add vegetables like cauliflower or red bell pepper and utilize flavorings such as garlic, black pepper, and herbs instead of excessive salt. Such a meal can remain hearty and satisfying, still provide protein, and offer comfort, while simultaneously increasing fiber intake, reducing reliance on processed meats, and being gentler on your body. Beans are also a source of antioxidants, including polyphenols and flavonoids. These compounds may assist the body in combating oxidative stress and inflammation. Chronic inflammation is one of the insidious factors that can weaken numerous organs over time, including the kidneys. Imagine inflammation as a small fire smoldering within the walls of a house. You might not see large flames or hear an alarm, but day after day, it erodes the wood, damages the wiring, and compromises the structural integrity. Inflammation within the body can operate in a similar fashion. It may not always manifest as immediate pain, but it can lead to fatigue, weaken blood vessels, and gradually impair organ function. Foods rich in fiber and antioxidants, such as beans, can empower the body to better counteract this process when incorporated into a balanced dietary plan. Moreover, beans are exceptionally affordable, which is a significant consideration. Not everyone has the financial capacity to purchase expensive organic foods, specialized superfood powders, or costly bottled juices and supplements. However, a bag of dried beans, a can of low-sodium beans, or a homemade pot of bean soup is far more accessible within the realities of everyday life. Access to health should not be exclusive to those with substantial financial resources. Sometimes the most beneficial foods are found on the most ordinary shelves in the grocery store. However, once again, it is imperative to understand this clearly. While beans are beneficial, more is not always better. If you have been diagnosed with kidney disease, are actively monitoring your potassium, phosphorus, creatinine, or eGFR levels, or if your doctor has advised you to limit specific food groups, it is essential to consult with a healthcare professional before significantly increasing your bean consumption. Eating for kidney health is about making intelligent choices, not about blindly following trends. Therefore, what constitutes a more beneficial approach to consuming beans? You could incorporate a small amount of black beans into a salad, prepare a nourishing lentil soup, use mashed chickpeas as a low-sodium spread on toast, or create a homemade pinto bean chili with a reduced salt content. Alternatively, you might mix a small portion of beans with rice, vegetables, and natural seasonings. The key is to avoid transforming beans into a high-sodium dish laden with bacon, sausage, canned sauces, or excessive salt. As in such cases, the issue lies not with the beans themselves, but with the multitude of added ingredients. Beans secure their position at number one due to their affordability, widespread availability, rich fiber content, and their contribution of plant-based protein. They possess the potential to support blood sugar management, cholesterol levels, digestion, and contribute to more balanced meals for older adults when utilized appropriately. They may not be glamorous, but their practicality is undeniable. And after the age of 60, practicality often holds more significance than superficial appeal. In summary, we have explored 4 familiar foods that can contribute to making your meals gentler on your kidneys. At number 4, we had yogurt, particularly plain, unsweetened varieties, which can support gut health and facilitate smoother food processing. At number 3, we highlighted apples, a simple fruit rich in fiber that is easy to consume and often a more beneficial choice than many sugary snacks. Our second food was tofu, a soft and adaptable plant-based protein that can aid in reducing your intake of heavier, saltier, and more processed protein options. And finally, at number 1, we celebrated beans, a humble yet powerful food abundant in fiber and plant-based protein, capable of making your meals more filling and balanced when consumed judiciously. However, it is paramount to internalize this message. No single food can instantly restore kidney health. Your kidneys are safeguarded through a consistent pattern of small, conscious choices made day after day. This includes opting for meals with slightly less salt, maintaining more reasonable portion sizes, incorporating foods with greater fiber content, choosing fresh options over processed ones whenever possible, and taking a moment to pause and question, is this food truly the best choice for my body today? After the age of 60, caring for your kidneys does not necessitate a life of dietary restriction and fear. Instead, it involves cultivating greater awareness. You do not need to chase fleeting, highly publicized detoxification fads, nor do you require expensive powders. There is no need to believe that a complete overhaul of your lifestyle is required overnight. Often, significant improvements in health begin with remarkably simple actions. Choosing an apple instead of a cookie, a small serving of plain yogurt instead of a sugary dessert, a meal featuring tofu rather than processed meat, or a modest portion of beans added to soup, a salad, or a family dinner. These are minor adjustments, but when you consistently implement them, your body registers the positive impact. If you are managing kidney disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, have rising creatinine levels, a lower eGFR, or if your potassium or phosphorus intake requires careful management, it is absolutely essential to consult with your doctor or a registered renal dietitian before making any significant changes to your diet. Every individual is unique, and a food that is suitable for one person may need to be limited for another. The information shared here is not intended to supersede the advice of your medical professionals. Rather, it aims to enhance your understanding of your body, empower you to ask more informed questions, and enable you to practice self-care through consistently gentler choices. If you found this video beneficial, please consider liking it, sharing it with a loved one who might benefit from enhanced kidney care, and subscribing to Senior Food Coach for more straightforward, practical, and easily actionable dietary guidance for life after 60. And before you go, remember this: aging does not automatically equate to a decline in strength. Your body possesses a remarkable capacity for adaptation and gradual recovery. It can still feel lighter, stronger, and more stable when you consistently provide it with kinder, more supportive choices each day. You don't need to start with an overwhelming undertaking. Simply begin with your very next meal. Make one better choice for your kidneys, one better choice for your heart, and one better choice for the body that has faithfully supported you through all these years. Thank you for staying with me until the very end. I wish you a peaceful, healthy, and energetic day. And as always, take a deep breath, my friend.